my fellow Italians, Calco here. And this month is Pride Month. I know I'm a little late to the party. Sorry, by the time this video uploads, I'm probably going to be in Ukraine. Or on my way to Ukraine. Anyways, I see a lot of sexuality headcanons in a lot of amino posts, in a lot of Instagram posts, in a lot of fandom posts in general. And often I get asked about my headcanons as well. So in celebration of Pride Month, I'm going to put in my Hetalia LGBT headcanons. Let me just put in a disclaimer first. This is my opinion. Personally, I like to think that everyone is just bi until proven otherwise. But if I went with that, this wouldn't be a very interesting video, now would it? I'm going to draw on what I've seen in Hetalia for most of these. But for a lot of them, I'm just gonna have to make some blind guesses. I'm mostly going off of what Himaruya would probably think. There are some really new characters that I'm going to be avoiding, as well as younger characters, because I don't want to think about that. Nor do I want to get arrested by the FBI. Also, feel free to disagree with me. A lot of times, I'll probably change my mind after seeing you guys' comments. Anyways, allow me to explain how this is going to work. Here I have the gay scale. Depending on the gender of each character, for female characters it will be reversed, this is going to define my headcanons. First we got gay. I think this character likes men and only men. Then we have preference towards men, where I think this character is bi but likes men more, or I think this character is likely gay but could possibly be bi. Bi. Very simple, bisexual. Also, I'm just gonna say bi throughout this entire video just to make things simpler, and also because I'm a little biased. Yeah, no, I deserve to go in the trash with that joke. Also, I like the bi colors better. Additionally, it's gonna be impossible for me to determine anyone being pansexual anyways. That's just not a talent that I have. Anyways, preference towards women. There's a chance this character might be bi, but prefers to date women. Or this character is very like a heterosexual, but could be bi. And then we have straight. 90-something% of the population, heterosexual. And then secretly, very secretly at the bottom, we have asexual. That's all the ones I'm gonna do. I am a very simple bisexual. Also, the position of the arrow on the scale will indicate how confident I am in this headcanon. First, I'm gonna start with all of these characters because they appear so infrequently and don't have too much screen time right now. I'm gonna assume that these guys are all bi until proven otherwise. Alright, now let's rate some gayness. Italy Venetiano is confirmed bi. He shows attraction to both men and women. But I think Venetiano at the moment has a bit of a preference for women, given that it's a pretty big part of his character to flirt with every woman that he sees. But he still dated a guy as a kid, knowing full well it was a guy. So I'm gonna say bi confirmed with a preference for women. Germany. I mean, seeing what we've seen in Bon San Valentino, we also hear that in the 1940s, Germany's still a virgin, but I think there are some early works where he says he is attracted to women. So I'm gonna say bi with a strong preference for men. Japan. I'm pretty sure he's almost confirmed to be bi because he did kind of sleep with Greece, or at least dreamt of sleeping with Greece. Whether or not it was real, it's not confirmed. Also, he is confirmed to like 2D women more than 3D women, but that's women nonetheless, so bi. America. Bi, but with a strong preference for women, because we constantly see him using sexy women in his ads, and he seems to think about sexy women a lot. But he has plenty of gay moments. America could also very possibly be straight, but I'm gonna say bi with a strong preference for women. I don't know, honestly, I just think America would be more into food than he would be into people. Or thinking he's too important for a relationship. Not in an egoistic way, but like the way superheroes' significant others get kidnapped and stuff. England. While he has shown he likes women, I'm gonna say bi, but maybe slightly asexual? France is confirmed bi. He loves everything and everyone. With China, I'm going to go with bi. Maybe a slight preference towards men, but mostly very bi. Russia, I'm actually going to go with just gay. I just have a very strong headcanon that Russia is just a very stifled homosexual. This man has not shown any attraction to women so far, and has shown attraction to men as he has stalked China and Lithuania. I am just getting very closeted gay vibes from him. Ancient Egypt. I don't know, she just gives me suburban mom energy, so I'm just gonna say straight for now. Possibly be bi, but I don't know, that mom energy is very strong. Ancient Rome is confirmed to be bi because even though while he was alive he never slept with a man, he does say that he wish he did. Australia. Oh, I'm getting such strong fuckboy energy from this man, and very rarely do I get fuckboy energy from anyone who isn't straight. Anyone with fuckboy energy is, to me, most likely straight. Austria is confirmed bi because he has been married to both men and women, and has shown attraction to both men and women. Belarus, okay, now this is going to be a very controversial take. She has shown canon attraction to men in the form of her brother, and I think if she were gay or bi, she wouldn't be this enthusiastic about Alexander Lukashenko. So I'm much more leaning towards straight. There could be some bi potential, as I highly doubt she has ever really tried and experimented outside of anything because she's been so obsessed with her brother pretty much her entire life. But for now, I think she has her eye on a very particular man. Belgium. While doing my Who is the Straightest Hetalia character video, I noticed that Belgium has a lot, and I mean a lot of very, very straight moments. Looking at her, she rarely interacts with any other women in the series at all, actually. Even in the meeting of female nations. It's just all straight to business. But my tendency to ship her with Hungary is very strong, but I'm gonna say very much high preference to men, if not straight. Honestly, I was surprised by how many straight moments this character had. I honestly expect her to be a bit more gayer. Bulgaria. I think Bulgaria is bi because you cannot tell me that this interaction was straight. Canada, I think he has shown that he does kind of like girls, but I think he's more asexual than anything. I don't know, that's just how I see him. Cuba, I'm gonna maybe go with bi, but with maybe a preference for men. He has some serious dad energy, but yeah, I think he's shown that he's pretty fluid in his sexuality. Czechia, I'm kind of leaning more towards straight. I don't know, she just really gives me straight girl energy. I cannot describe it, but the straight level energy that comes from both of these is really high. Denmark, I'm getting that fuckboy energy again. I'm leaning towards straight, but I feel like he might be more bi, but with a preference for women. I feel like he just scores more with women in general if he were to be bi, because I feel like he'd strike out a lot more by flirting with guys. I don't know, that's just the vibe that I am getting from him. So I think that if Denmark was bi, he probably has scored more with women than he has with men. Likely because he looks incredibly straight. Egypt. Egypt, I'm probably going to say, is asexual. I mean, he just gives that vibe. I do have an entire theory about trans Egypt, but that's for another day. And that theory mostly stems from the fact that his height makes no sense. Estonia. Oh gosh, this is hard. He is either incredibly straight or bi with a very strong preference for women. Because that whole thing with Hetalia, I mean, that is the straightest dream you could possibly have. I really want to say bi for the shippers, and even if he is straight, that's not going to stop me from shipping him with Finland. But yeah, Estonia gives very big, I like women, but I'm not good at getting them kind of vibe. Finland, I'd say bi, but with a preference for men. Or possibly gay. Germania, I would say straight. All those kids had to be made somehow. I don't know, I just see him giving off homophobic grandpa vibes. I believe Greece is confirmed to be bi, given the whole thing that happened with Japan. Even if it was a dream, it was a dream that nevertheless happened. And he is confirmed to like women too. Hungary, I mean, given the fact that she's a Fujoshi, I want to say she leans straight, but at the same time, there was that whole thing with trying to get a look at Ukraine's chest by having her wear that dress. I'm just gonna stick with bi, But I think she would have a preference for men, given that she is a fujoshi. And, well, boys' love is just two things that she likes, together, in a very certain way. I'm going to say Hong Kong and Iceland are probably bi. Hong Kong is probably just attracted to, like, very marketable people. I think Iceland has kind of shown some attraction to both men and women, though, as well. Like, admiring men's bodies and really blushing around really pretty girls. For Indonesia, I honestly have no idea, so I'm just gonna say bye just in case. India, honestly, India kind of gives me straight vibes. But he doesn't really appear often, and when he does, there's nothing regarding a romantic context. He was also a very close final contender for the straightest Hetalia character, so I'm probably gonna put him in the straight category. Korea, I would think, is bi. Lithuania is confirmed to like women, but he kind of was in a partnership with a man, and has had a lot of very interesting relationships with men over time. So I am going to say bi, but with a preference for women. Luxembourg. It is clear in the series that Luxembourg has shown a large attraction to money, and nothing else so far. I don't know, I'm just gonna say sexuality is money. Macau, also money, but more with a preference for women. Malaysia, I also have no idea, but probably a slight preference for women, given that it is Malaysia. I think Malaysia wouldn't totally reject the idea of being with a man. Monaco, I want to say gay, but she went on a date with Seborga, so I'm going to have to say bi. Netherlands. The Netherlands' sexuality is confirmed to be money. Okay, fine. I think he's bi, but with a preference for money, and maybe women because that's what makes him money, because red light district. But I think he was married to a man at one point. New Zealand, likely asexual. Same with Norway, either asexual or bi. I think Persia is a little bit more likely to be straight, or maybe unexplored bi. With ancient Greece, given all the gay things the Greeks did, I'm probably gonna have to say bi. Prussia is possibly confirmed bi. He does have canon unrequited feelings for Hungary, and he has shown some pretty not straight interests in the Italies. Or maybe Prussia's straight, except for the Italies, because everyone wants to fuck the Italians in this series for some reason. I'm not kidding. In a lot of places in the series, you'll find people simping for the Italies. I'm gonna say Romania is bi. I'll say Seychelles is bi, but with the preference for rich men, because it takes a lot of money to get to her country. For Singapore, I'd say he'd have a preference towards women, because women are more marketable and bring tourists. But I can definitely see him in a relationship with a man. I determined that Slovakia was the straightest Hetalia character, so I'm gonna say straight. For the Philippines, I'm going to say he gives off very straight vibes for some reason. Like, there's a lot of obsession with growing abs and drinking beer, and I don't know, for some reason, Philippines is kind of rubbing me with a good, strong preference for women or very straight. I really don't know why. Poland, I'm going to say either gay or with a very, very strong preference for men. Because, do I have to explain why? The first thing he says when he sees Lithuania is, "Show me your junk." Portugal, I'm gonna say bi, because that whole olive oil thing was very, very not straight. But I don't think he's, totally gay either. Romano, I think he was confirmed to be bi. By the way, all the Italian characters that we have seen so far have shown to be attracted to women. But Romano kind of agreed to marry Spain on condition that he'd be fed, so I guess I'm gonna take that as bi. Spain, I'd say bi with a preference for men, because he's wanted to marry both of the Italies, and he was married to Austria at some point. Sweden is the only one to be confirmed by Himaruya to have a sexuality, and that is gay. Or maybe just Finland sexual. Switzerland, I would think, is bi, but with a preference for money. Taiwan, I want to say gay, but she did give Japan chocolates on White Day, so I am going to say bi, but with a preference for women. Thailand, okay, I don't want to stereotype, but okay, fine. I'm gonna lean more towards bi. because of what Thailand is known for. They have quite the red light district. Turkey is giving off really big dad vibes, so I'm gonna either say straight or having a very large preference for women. Ukraine, I think, is bi. I mean, I guess it fits because you have gay, straight, and bi amongst the 3 siblings. I think she's shown some attraction to men, but she does talk about titties a lot. In Vietnam, I believe that she is completely gay. And those are just my headcanons. Again, you can have different opinions. I mean, I personally ship despite these headcanons as well. But until then, happy Pride and keep on studying.